Why didn't you want to do the role? He wanted you to do it.
I can't work with him. We can't really talk. My father is a very difficult person.
Joachim and I started talking about working together again on the set, The Worst Person. We really found like a deep, profound, just like understanding of each other, and a really rare collaboration. So we started talking about some traits of a character that wasn't, we couldn't really test that out in Julie because she was what she was, and that story was what it was, and like different settings. And I think that's kind of when the seed started. And then we toured around with Worst Person in the World, which was very overwhelming because it went so much better than we thought and expected. And then, so when I read the script, I knew that he had written something for me, knowing me even better and knowing me better as an actor and a person. So I was actually a little bit nervous because he's very wise and very intelligent. So I was a little scared to see what he had seen in me. But it was mostly about what he wanted to challenge me with, that he gave me a lot of trust to do a role that had even more emotional weight and was in a very different landscape, because Julie in Worst Person in the World is very naive and the world is very open. It's like a big summer day with a lot of melancholy, but this went even deeper with a lot more emotional weight. So that was my first reaction, being a little scared. To have the collaboration that me and Joachim have, it means a lot. It's very rare to have someone you feel you can express something through, and that someone also feels that they can express what they have and their vision through you. So, and in that dynamic, it gets we can go really far into the complexities of something existential in a character, in a situation, and we trust each other so much. We've been through so much now. So we've become very close, both as friends and collaborators, and it means a lot. I feel like every conversation that I have with Joachim, I learn something new. He's so wise. He's so curious about things. He has so much just knowledge about so many things. So I really appreciate him as a person, and I really just love spending time on set with him and now touring the movie around. So yeah, it means a lot. I really loved playing around with what Nora knew and what she didn't know about herself. And I think that complexity in dealing with your past and seeing how much it affected you in small ways and how it comes up in situations and relationships in your life. And all the conversations we had around that on set or before in rehearsals, that's kind of the big chunk of knowledge or kind of what I took from the movie. Joachim has written this role for me, and I think it's not about it's not about me, or it's not my story, but it is a way of understanding a character, and he already knows kind of the way I will handle these themes and the way I will go, the length I will go to find nuance in the situations she is in. So now our collaboration is starting even kind of before he writes it, because we know each other so well. It's kind of wordless. So when we're on set, it's a very deep understanding of what direction to go, and I can sense when he wants to go somewhere else, or I can suggest something else that that's not in the script or something. So it's very flexible, the collaboration, and I think it's not necessarily about what the character is on the page, but about what it becomes on set. So we rehearse a lot, and that's one of his methods, but there we only find some seeds and like some subconscious things sear in through that process. And then when we're on set, it's still very open and very raw, and he kind of chases these events, as he called them. Like he wants it to occur there, and sometimes he doesn't really understand what happened, or we none of us understands, and then he knows how to facilitate that in the edit after. He's so leaned in to what we're doing on set, so he's never behind the monitor. He's right next to the camera, especially in big emotional scenes. So we're in the sister scene, that we call it now, but where Inga, that's playing Agnes, is coming to Nora with the script. And they're sitting there talking about their father and like what they've just learned about how much he knows about them and how much he has actually understood. And I am on a bed and Inga is on the floor and Joachim is right there. And the cinematographer Kasper Tuxen is also very leaned in. So everyone's really concentrated on that situation. And Inga has an impulse to go up in bed to me and hug me, but she doesn't do it. But Joachim can sense that she has that, and she says, "Go ahead." And she crawls up, and then it's not in the script, she says, "I love you," and Nora struggles to say it back. And that moment occurs also because Kasper is so on, so he moves the camera. Like it really feels on set with Joachim, it feels like everyone's so tuned in to what's happening, and thing kind of just occurs from, of course, a lot of work before we get there, but in the moment. I do have a sister, and of course you then have the experience of what it means to be close to someone. What I really love about the sister relationship in the movie is it's not like they have a big ongoing conflict or a big fight. It's that they see what they're lacking in their own life through each other, and how different they are from each other makes them feel like they can see their strengths and their weaknesses through how different they are, but in the same situation, and how they know intuitively how to support each other in a situation. So it's just so nuanced and delicate, that relationship. That's really what I love about it. The reason that we find like a deep connection on set is because Joachim is very thorough in his casting. So he has a lot of rounds, and he also, when he has found his actor that will give the scene or the role or the whole script or the whole movie dynamic, he will kind of shape the character for that person to create the dynamic within the scene and within the character. So the work is really in the rehearsals of like kind of changing things and building those relationships. And then when we're on set, everyone's so leaned into their character, and also it's so flexible and open in the moment that things actually it kind of becomes very real when we're there on set. So actually, me and Stellan, we don't have that many scenes together, and we were really sad that we didn't have more. We have one scene that is actually a scene where we have something good, and you see the strength of the relationship in a positive way and what they could have had. But there's no words. It's just them having a cigarette and like mirroring each other and seeing how alike they are, which is really difficult because they don't know how to communicate, even though they're so similar. And that's also the big sadness of their relationship. When I read the first scene and knowing that I love playing panic. I've been a theater actor my whole life. So going back on stage and being there and actually doing comedy again, because I've done a lot of comedy on stage. But these last few years I've done a lot of drama, heavy roles, but I think it was just the perfect condensed moment of seeing Nora really, all her unprocessed things and all the emotional weight that she was carrying, she has to open up to do anything on stage. You have to open up to all the things that live in you. as an actor, and she has a big resistance to actually going there and doing that. So she panics and runs away and physically tries to get people to hit her in the face and rips up her dress, and it was just so fun to do that scene. I think the most challenging scene was the scene where Agnes, the sister, comes to give her the script to convince her to read it and see what the father actually has seen about her. And because I knew that was a pivotal scene in the whole movie, so it needed to contain a lot of very subtle, complex emotions from everyone, and to make that happen, you have to be very focused, of course. And we were all very nervous going into that scene, and so that was maybe the hardest one to do. Joachim builds his set so that everyone he's both a really good director artistically, but he also is a really good leader. So he builds his productions so well. So it's like everyone is so tuned into his vision. It's been amazing to see how many people actually relate to the movie and have such strong reactions. I feel that the strength with the movie is that Joachim and Eskil got very personal and had the courage to make something that is very emotional and really sincere. Like, my main role model as an actress is Isabelle Huppert. She's like I think just her way of being so raw and in control at the same time is just so fascinating. It's the dynamic between those two, like, different things that really, it's so much tension in what she does. She's maybe the actress that I've studied the most to kind of understand and try to find a way to, just understand what she does. It's very mysterious. I started like a theater school when I was 9, and I took it like really serious from the get-go. I had, of course, a lot of fun with it, but it was for me very, I had the drive and the love for it from the beginning, and then I've kind of had the same love and the drive now, being my age. So it's, and I don't think it's gonna stop. I really love it. You can find so many things and learn so many things, and it's just a way to process things you don't understand. Or I really struggle to find words for describing a role or a situation or in a movie or a movie in itself, and because the reason why we do it is because we handle things in there that is really hard to talk about. So trying to find words for it after, I really find challenging. I haven't had like one dream role. I think it's more the collaboration with the director and finding something in a role that is written, but finding something together that extends even from the script, and really developing something and being in situation with other actors that I admire. Or it's more about the event of it and the process of it. Well, I've done a lot of classic plays, but I feel, and I've done the same role over, because we do a lot of Ibsen in Norway, and I've done the same role different times, but it's never about the role itself. It's about the collaboration with the director and what the director wants, even with, of course, the core of it and the all the existential questions that occur, but also aesthetically, that is so fascinating to me, how much things can change by following that vision of a director. I can read a really good script, and then I'll have a meeting after, and then I'll know if I want to do it, because it's all about what you can what you can see in it together, and if I really get a kick out of the direction that the director wants, and what kind of freedom or restraints that he gives, and all aspects of how that production will be, you can really sense from that first meeting. So that's when I say I've only said yes to one director without meeting him, and that's the next movie I'm going to do with Alexander Payne. He just asked me over email, and I was like, yes. I will go to places where I am scared, and I think, of course, I have limits, and I can't cross my limits, of course, but I do really enjoy to try to find something within that place where I get a little scared, or I'm very curious about why I'm scared of something, and then I'll try to go into something in that perspective. I am actually really proud of Worst Person in the World. I think it was just such a joy to make it, and it was the first time I really gave something that sincere to, well, it was my first lead, but in any role, I got very close to some things in me in that role, and the way people could recognize themselves in that was very big for me. So I think the whole process and the relationship other people have to that movie, I'm very proud of. Nora I'm of course very, very proud of that, and also to have a director write something for you that is more difficult, with more emotional weight, to go into something where a director wants to challenge you. I'm very proud of that. And for me, it's very hard to see what the role is when I see the movie. Yeah, I can never fully see a movie that I've been in, but I'm really proud of the collaboration, and to be given that opportunity by Joachim, I really am proud of. My family has seen it. I actually invited them to Cannes to see it in the cinema there, and it was, yeah, we haven't actually really talked about it because you can't, but something has changed, actually. I feel it is a good movie to watch with your family. Yeah. I have some friends that are reluctant to see it because they know it's gonna hit some places in them that are then they have to have the afternoon or the evening after cleared to process some things. Yeah.